By the third landing, the stairwell says there are 3 of us. There are only 2, me and Danny. The red LED above the door blinks OCC. 003 between the peeling paint and the metal fire map, counting our breaths like debt. The blackout took out the elevators. Alarms failed into a flat line. We're supposed to clear each floor and head for the roof to reboot the generator manually because that's the kind of place we are. Old fix on top of older fix, and a stairwell that always feels 1 floor too long. Watch your step numbers, Danny says. Her headlamp paints concrete in a jerky ribbon. They said the south well miscounts when the power dips. I tap my counter anyway. 8 steps to a flight, 16 to a landing. The metal rail is cold enough to sting. My radio murmurs floor tones like distant thunder. On 2 to 3, there's water on the treads. It slicks under my boots with a skin, not a puddle. I smell pennies and the old leather stink of fire hoses. The LED at this landing says OCC 004. Knock it off. I tell the air, then wish I hadn't talked to it. Danny touches the display with 2 fingers like checking a pulse. We don't split, she says, like she's telling the count what it can't have. Something above us moves, a footstep that takes 3 seconds to decide what weight it wants. We freeze. The concrete settles around us with a slow exhale. The step comes again, 1 floor up, right above our heads. Yo! Danny calls, professional flat. Security. Sound off. The step answers by stopping. Somewhere deep, a door closer gives a patient hiss. We keep climbing. 8:16, landing. The stairwell is sound, but the sound at the edges keeps almost making words. The LED on 4 reads OCC 005. My head does the cheap math it does when I'm tired. 2 of us plus 1 step above plus whatever the stairs want. Don't look back, Danny says, and I hear her smiling without liking it. If it counts you wrong and you check, it gets it right. On 5, the air changes, tightens around my ears like diving. The concrete is colder to the touch where fingers have touched it before us. Streaks darker than dust make a ladder of hands up the wall at child height, then adult, then too tall. You lost anybody in here? I ask without wanting an answer. Danny's laugh is 2 notes and a scrape. We don't say lost, she says. We say not back yet. The LED on 6 says OCC 006. At least it's honest, I mutter. Never is, she says. We step into the hum of our own breath. My counter ticks with my thumb because habits like to prove they can still help. 8:16. Landing. The voice of the stairwell is a silence that learned to walk. Above us, the footstep resumes, slower now, as if counting us backwards. On 7, a door has been painted shut 3 times and wants to be opened for someone who isn't me. The metal bar is smooth and warm. In the wired glass is a reflection that lags my head by half a beat. Don't, Danny says, and I don't. The LED jerks. OCC 007. Then OCC 006. Back to 007. The count can't decide who is here. The radio coughs to life and gives me my own badge number. The voice that reads it is Leon's, even though we both put black tape over his locker the night after the stairs returned him with his laces neatly tied and everything else wrong. Roof in 2, Danny says. Stay with me. Don't speak if the door asks. Doors don't ask, I say, but even I don't believe me. The push bar at the next landing drops a fraction under a hand I can't see, then rises like a shrug. We climb. The LED on 8 is dead. The one on 9 is stuck at OCC 002. Better, I say. That's us. Danny doesn't answer. Her beam stutters down the tread noses. Her pace is too even. I look up. There's space between us that wasn't there. Not much. 2 steps. Enough for a breath I don't own to live in for a second. Hey, I say. She doesn't turn. She says, keep counting. In a voice that is mine speaking through her mouth. It is not a trick she has ever played. The stairwell inhales. We reach the next landing together even though I don't remember closing the gap. The LED says OCC 003. It looks satisfied. Roof, Danny says, pointing. The sign says roof access in paint the shade of dried blood. The crash bar under the hatch sits like a promise. The hinges smell like a wet penny in a hot mouth. I start forward. Danny's hand clamps my arm so hard my bones pop. Count down, she says. What? From 16 to 0. Out loud. I do. 16 feels like a safe, dumb number until 14 disappears from my tongue, and I cannot find it again. Thur, I say. The stairwell says teen, in the voice of a child who learned to read my lips. Then the LED says OCC 004 and the door breathes a little. Back, Danny says low. I step back without thinking. The door exerts a wanting like magnet to meet. My heel hits the edge and kisses off into empty, but the tread is there. It always was. The count drops to 003. Don't let it do your math, she says. Your math is yours. We stand side by side. Above our heads, something kneels on the other side of the hatch and lays its ear to the seam. The light changes slightly as if pressed through skin. Generator, I say. My voice is a dry hinge. We have to go. Not through here, she says. Not at a count of 3. It likes odd. The radio chirps a friendly tone that I hate. Arriving. It says my phone's GPS voice dressed for work. Proceed to highlighted route. The staircase glows a fraction in a way that has nothing to do with electricity. I hold my breath, then try to count it, then stop trying. The LED ticks to OCC 002 all by itself, then up to 003 as if something put its foot down gentle. On me, Danny says and steps through me. I don't have a better way to say it. For a blink her heat is my heat and my ribs are her jacket, and then she is one tread below where I thought she was. In my periphery there is a third shoulder turning. When I face it, there is not. There are still 2, she says. Let it be wrong. We test the door to 10 instead. The push bar sighs and the building hum clutches it back like a lover who owns the paperwork. The LED says OCC 004. The step above us laughs without sound. Danny, I say. I use her name like a hook. She looks at me with my mother's eyes for a second too long. What's my middle name? I say. You don't have one, she says fast, sure, wrong. Her smile arrives a half step late. We keep going, she adds. I back down one tread. The LED goes 002. The stairwell has it, I say. It thinks you're a floor. She doesn't blink. You coming or not? Above us, the hatch creeps open a sliver by itself. Cold roof air rolls down like a dog sniffing. In it is the smell of rain and tar and something like warm sugar. Don't look up, Leon says from somewhere that is a radio and a throat I remember. Don't. Danny looks up. So do I. The number painted on the underside of the hatch is not 8. It is a coil of 3 black digits that mean other things depending on who says them. The stairwell's count clicks happy at OCC 003. Back down, I say, but my feet think forward. Danny reaches for the bar. Her sleeve brushes my wrist. Her skin is cold in the way of paper that used to be a hand. Keep your promises, she says in my voice, and pushes. I grab her. The air that falls through the crack pulls her toward whatever the stairwell holds in its teeth. For a second we are both at the threshold, and the count goes to 004, greedy. The hatch begins to close as if told there are enough. I let go. She goes so quiet the stairwell forgets to echo it. The LED falls to 002. The door seals with a kiss like a filing cabinet. I stand there, hand out, counting nothing, while the step above me learns my weight. On the ground floor, the lobby camera wakes, fisheye bright, and shows me walking out into the storm with Danny at my shoulder. We both look tired. We both wave at the guard too long. We both smile the wrong way. The LED outside the stairwell shows OCC 001 until the door swings shut and resets.